Hey, what's going on?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
All right. We'd like to welcome y'all to Mr. B's Keep It in the Road. We right here live on Mr. B's Trucking Institute. We find the solutions. We giving up all those excuses, boss. Now, we calling this thing Keeping It in the Road. We're going live. We got the podcast as well that y'all can check out on Spotify. So I'm driving this truck right now, Mr. B. And I got my co-drive over there, DC Wolf. Let me get that howl. Oh. Yes, sir. We howling because Wolf, he drive that truck at nighttime. He a night driver. He on Wolf driving at nighttime.
I'm on licking my lips like Cool J.
All right. I'm about to hit this dispatcher up. Foodie Fancy been busy. Wolf, I've been seeing she's been putting up some videos on these drivers that need, somewhere to eat. Right around here in Georgia, they on that 34-hour reset. Foodie been doing some lunch breaks, so y'all make sure that y'all check out the channel. Look at her lunch breaks. We got some real nice restaurants y'all can go to right around here in the Georgia area. We're gonna be expanding out too. Very soon we'll be taking lunch break with Foodie Fancy outside of the state of Georgia. Come on now, Wolf. So let me call up Foodie right quick. That's our dispatcher for y'all that's watching for the first time. We live and we got Foodie, our dispatcher. Let me call up right quick. Let me see who we got on.
All right, what's happening?
What's going on, Foodie?
Ain't nothing much, man. This is Sunday. Y'all like my Sunday song?
Yeah, come on. Did you see the day in church?
Hey, Foodie, you been to church today? I know you one of them churching women. You been to church today, Foodie?
Hey, I went to church. Let me tell you something. I couldn't find my lip gloss.
Praise the Lord.
Get some of that. You go to church, you got to look right. I couldn't find that lip gloss. I had to go and get that can of Crisco. Breeze them up. Click. They too shiny.
Hey, did you have your tambourine in church today?
Man, look, screw up boy too.
Woo. Well, that church, that Foodie Fancy Wolf over there. They got everybody got a tambourine. You come, they say it's a church, but it's really a house. Well, you know what I'm saying? You walk into that house, and they just put church on the side of it. Everybody got a tambourine. The dog got a tambourine. You walk in there, they got the rats. The rats got tambourines. Everybody got
tambourine. You better hush before I throw some of this corn up there, man. Come on now. Hey,
look at Wolf.
They
got the rats up in there giving.
Hey,
rats giving time.
Me on a Sunday morning.
Rats giving ties.
Mr. B, you about to get it. Like, look, come on. DC Wolf already said you keep messing with food, you gonna get them balls on your feet.
For real, man. For real.
All right.
You keep messing with food, I ain't gonna get my pies, man. Come on now.
I ain't got time to fool with y'all. Hey, listen, what's going on? What's happening, people? I'm Foodie Fancy. I'm so glad you guys are with us today. We have a special guest in the bump with us today, and let me see who we got. We got Nick Frazier. Nick Frazier is joining us. He is all the way from Tuskegee, Alabama, with the Commodores, Lionel Richie. Come on, what we know about that? From a little way of what is it, Texas? But anyway, we got him coming on. Where you at, Nick? Let me hear you.
I'm here. I'm right here. How y'all doing?
We're so glad you're joining us today, and giving us some insight as a new driver. We know you have some good insight, and we just want to hear from you. So, guys, I'm gonna just kind of let you all have it. Again, I'm Foodie Fancy, and you know what I want you to do, Nick? I want everybody out there to do.
Okay.
In the road.
We're gonna keep it in the road, and Foodie, you going out there find some other restaurants we can eat at, and you going. I know you working on them sweet potato pies, pecan pies, all that stuff.
Hey, don't leave out the peach cobbler. That's coming.
Hey, Foodie, I know y'all got that extra. Them Pentecostal. Y'all gonna probably have another church service in a little bit, ain't you?
You know what? You invited. Bring your behind on down there and get saved.
Y'all want to church all day, man. I'm done. Y'all ain't got nowhere I could park this truck up at that church either. So I got to talk to pastor about that. All right, Foodie. You be blessed, and we'll be in contact. All right, let's see where Wolf went. What's going on there? So, what's happening with you? We got Nick in the house. How you doing, Nick?
Man, I'm doing well. I can't complain. Can't complain at all. I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain.
Okay. Well, being that you a new driver, Nick, that's big things.
Hmm.
You know, being that you're a new driver. And first thing I wanted to ask you is, first of all, I want to say, welcome to truck driving, rookie.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I heard
Yes,
that
sir.
a couple of times.
Yeah, but welcome to the road. I know you're keeping it in the road, but I just wanted to start out and ask you a little bit about your story. How did you get into truck driving? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You know, what gave you that passion? How did you get into trucking?
Um, that's a I don't know if it's a convoluted question or if it's an ambiguous question or what. Well, not question answer, but it was basically me trying to jump off the bridge into entrepreneurship. Is really what it was. It's kind of just wanted to do something on my own, something that I can leave a legacy for, something that I can build wealth with. It's something that I wanted to do. Started with, if you want to go step by step, it's literally started probably, well, not probably, this is 2023. So probably around September of, August, September of 2021 is when I actually started looking at actually, trying to make the move into actually getting into the industry. I was interested in, I actually started in the box truck side of trucking. Did some research, did about 4 or 5 months of research on how I can get into that, and ended up getting my own DOT and MC number. And then around the end of February, beginning of March of 2022, I struck out on my own in a box truck. So
Okay.
that's why I started at.
Okay, so let's go back a little bit
Mhm.
because you say you started there, but you actually had to start by getting your CDL. Where did you go to school? Where you get your CDL at?
I got my CDL after I started. After I got my DOT and MC actually. I got my CDL actually between July and August of last year, 2022 is when I got my CDL. I went to Swift Driving Academy.
Okay, Swift. All
Mhm.
right, which Swift you went to? What Swift school you went
I
to?
went to the Memphis terminal.
Okay, went to Memphis Turner.
Hmm.
So, how was school? Were you one of the top in your class, or were you dragging up the back? Talk to me.
School was long. It was really long.
How long was it, Nick?
We
Was
were
it long
there.
because you kept failing and coming back, or was it long? Walk with me. How
No, no,
long
no,
was it?
nah. It wasn't that. It wasn't that.
How long was
We actually started I tell you the dates. I started July 29th actually.
it? Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't finished until August 22nd, just based off of the curriculum that they had. So we had to
Wasn't that
do.
long?
It was a long time for us because we had to sit and
July to
wait.
August, that ain't nothing but a month. Nick,
Yeah,
stop.
that was a long time for me because I was ready to come back home. That's how I
Boss, I
felt.
was in school for a whole year. What you talking about?
I couldn't do it. Couldn't do
No,
it
I'm just joking. I was in school.
then.
Me and Wolf actually went to the same school.
Okay.
We went to at the time it was the CAB Technical College,
Mm-hmm.
and it took us about 13 weeks.
Ooh.
But how was that school experience? I just want to say that for people who may be thinking about going to school, and
Mm-hmm.
how was that experience for you?
The experience. I mean, the actual experience of being around other people. It was actually pretty cool. It was actually pretty fun.
Mhm.
It was pretty good. The actual work of what we had to do of. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I was one of them novice guys. They wanted them just like, oh, I'm just going here and drive this truck. Put it in, do what they tell me to do, and I'll be out. Get it in and out. I did not know the amount of work and the amount of time I was gonna have to spend behind the wheel in order to not even master, but actually understand exactly how the truck moves, how the trailer moves, and things of that nature.
Mm.
But yeah, so I mean, it took me. I kind of went in there. I'm not gonna say I went in. I went in there kind of like, all right, let me just go ahead and just do this, and then I'll be out. That's how I went in. But yeah, I went in. We had to do it. We had to do a week of class work. Then we did 2 weeks on the range, 2.5 weeks on the range. And then I had to wait a week before I could actually test. And when we tested, I passed on my first try, so I was happy about that.
All right. So, what would you say was the toughest part of trucking school? If you told somebody to you, in your opinion, what you think is the toughest part of trucking school? If you're trying to get them licenses, you trying to get them CDLs, because you got your A's, right?
Yeah, I do. I got class
Got
CDL.
class
Yeah,
A.
class.
Okay. So, what was the toughest part of trucking school to you?
Toughest part for me was actually the mental part of it because I mean, like I said, when I went in there, I just went in there as like, all right, let me just go in. I'm gonna drive straight, back up straight. Turn this way, turn that way. Nah, that's not what it was. it was a lot different than what I thought, and I was like, oh snap, okay. And then you have to maneuver in these tight spaces and things like that. And then you have to think about other people on the road when you're driving on the road and safety and things of that nature and stuff like that. So yeah, that was the mental part that was hard for me. And then probably technically, the part that was the hardest was actually trying to complete a 90-degree turn, a 90-degree back in school. That was probably the hardest thing for me to conceptualize at that time. But other than that, I mean, everything else was pretty much practice. But I had to do a lot of repetition on that 90.
And now you talking that 90. What we call that thing you talking about? What we call that was the alley dock.
Yes, alley dock.
Yeah. That Mr. B, I could put that alley dock in like nothing. I could put that thing in. I could close my eyes and hold one steering wheel that do like that and put that thing in. That come from 20 years. That come from a lot of backing into docks. But that's interesting to say that because see, when me and Wolf came out of school, we old school. We didn't just have to alley dock. We had to do a blind side, right? We had to blind side that thing and had the truck sitting at an L. So you had to just blind just the back of the trailer in. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We came up in that Jordan area.
Okay.
You hear me? You got my audio. What? You got my audio?
I got you. I've been talking. Wolf, what you got for him?
All right, man. What I want to ask, man. This is what I want to ask. I've been seeing like a lot of these box trucks videos, and you can make $5,000-$6,000 a week box truck driving. You know what I'm saying?
We need to go get a box, Clint. We need to get a box.
Hey, man, I'm about to do it. So this is the thing, man. You started in a box truck, correct?
Yeah, I did.
So, bro, just give me what it is. Is it truthful, man? Can you make that much? If you don't mind disclosing, man, what did you make? And is it true what they saying about the box truck on these videos on YouTube, man?
The answer to that question is yes and no.
Okay.
It's yes and no. It's the answer to that question. I don't mind disclosing what I did. Like I said, I started with getting my own DOT and MC number. February is when I got it. I remember the date that it got approved. It was March 4th when it got approved. March 7th, I had my first load through TQL. I averaged, when I started doing over the road with the box truck, I was averaging roughly about somewhere between 55 and 6,000 a week.
Whoa.
But my problem was my expenses. My expenses killed me. I was renting a box truck at that. I was paying fuel out of my pocket. I didn't have a fuel card. Insurance was hitting me up as well. And then the fact that one thing as well, when you're in a box truck was different than being in a tractor. You can't, DOT regulations, you can't spend the night in a box truck. It's not something that you can spend the night in. So hotels, food, everything like that, it was really adding up. So the money was going quick. As soon as it was coming in, it was going quick. I was roughly averaging about $1,100 a day. That is what I was getting Monday through Friday. And I would do a reset on the weekend. So whether I would stay out for a long period of time. But yes, for me personally, the money was coming in up until when I decided to turn the box truck back in, just because it wasn't financially stable for me to stay in it at that time. Because like I said, the money that as soon as the money was coming in, it was going back out to expenses. Within that time period, I had did close to about 65,000.
Jeez.
So, but yeah, it's there. I had grossed about 65,000, but like I said, if you net it with the expenses, it wasn't that much that I was taking home, to be honest with you. So that's when I had the conversation with my wife. When I clearly remember I went to go turn the truck in, and I was sitting there in the car because I was kind of defeated. I was like, man, did I fail at this? Did I fail at it? Like, I was struck out on my own doing this. And that's when I told my wife, I was like, you know what, it may be best for me to go actually learn the business side of it and actually try to learn on the tractor trailer, 53-foot side, and actually go to school. And that's when I decided to go get my CDL at that time, which was the end of July.
Okay.
All right, that's good stuff, man. And I always used to tell, a lot of new drivers when they came to school, they wanted to hop out there, they see the money.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing, what I always tell these drivers is that sometimes it's good to start out working for a company. Get out there and get your feet wet working for somebody. Because see, when you working for somebody, you blow out a tire. Who gonna fix that tire? They gonna fix it.
Exactly.
That engine go out of some boss. Who gonna fix it? They gonna fix it.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? But when you out there on your own, what I tell people is the money is right there in the center. It's the source.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get your own truck, you moving closer to the source. But the closer you get to the source, the more responsibility you're gonna have to have.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You blow out a tire, guess who's gonna fix that tire, Wolf?
I got you.
Who's gonna fix that tire? You know who's gonna fix it. Nick gonna fix it.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? If you ain't paying attention and you blow that engine and you ain't doing what you're supposed to, who gonna fix that engine?
Exactly.
All right.
Very true. Very true.
And I always tell guys it's good to get out there, work for somebody, and stack and make sure you got plenty of money saved up.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell guys before you work somewhere for about 2-3 years and build your money. I think you should have at least about 20 stacks in a savings account somewhere. So if you have a blowout or engine trouble, you can keep that truck moving.
Mm-hmm.
So some guys want to go out running. You got to walk first.
True. And that's really what I learned in that time period is that I should have, if I could do things differently, I would have done that. Wouldn't work for someone first, learn the business side while learning how to go in and meet and talk to shippers and stuff like that, and did that before actually going out on my own. That's one thing I do wish I could have went back. I could go back and do.
Yeah. Now we're gonna shift gears. We've been in first and second. We about to split that. We driving the straight. We driving that straight 10, Nick. So we about to split. We about to split this thing and throw it in 5. So have you had your DOT inspection? That's what I wanted to ask you about.
I've had a DOT. I had a DOT inspection when I was under my own DOT, but with the company that I'm with now, I haven't had one yet.
Okay, so but you have had one before.
I have had one. I've had a level 2.
Okay, so if you had a level 2, so let me ask you this: how did it go?
Mm-hmm.
And what advice would you give a new driver if he's about to have a DOT inspection?
That DOT inspection was actually my fault. Actually, it was actually my fault. It was actually my second run in the truck, and it was going from Mississippi to Lake Zurich, Illinois, and I was going through Mississippi to actually go to the shipper and picked up, and I ran past the weigh station, and state trooper caught me, stopped me, and he told me to turn around and go back to the weigh station, and looked up my DOT number and saw that I was a new DOT number, and put me through a level 2 inspection. So with the level 2 inspection, he kind of just, it's everything except crawling underneath the vehicle, underneath the truck. And that's what he did. So he looked at the lights, looked at the tires, made sure the horn and everything worked. Excuse me. And he also looked at my DOT body that I had. The only violation he gave me was for not having US in front of my DOT. Where my DOT numbers was on the side of the truck. That was it. But other than that, I passed. Just the only advice that I would have for someone in that situation is just keep everything in check. As long as it looks clean, it's not dirty. You keep the truck looking nice. Keep it washed. If you just do walk around and you make sure your paperwork is right, 9 times out of 10 you should be able to get out of that DOT inspection, unshaved. So you should be okay. That's my experience with it.
Mm-hmm. That's good advice, driver. Because what I always tell these drivers is that you want to make sure that What we used to do when I was at the trucking school is we would take the students sometime up to the weigh stations and we would talk to the DOT officers. And this is one thing I would notice, and I want y'all drivers to listen real close. When we were sitting up at that chicken coop, them DOT they would pull people based on how dirty or how clean that truck is. Your truck stinking and dirty looking, ain't been washed, is looking all crazy. Guess what? Them the first folk they gonna say, come on behind this chicken house. They gonna pull you behind that chicken house. But see, if you looking clean, they don't never mess with the Walmart trucks, UPS. Man, you need to keep your truck clean, shine, and make sure when you do your I know a lot of us, they running these if you running paper logs, I know that's a whole nother thing. I know they running what they call them now, Clint. The
ELDs.
Yeah, they running. What is it?
ELDs.
The ELD. That's right. But even if your ELD going down, and that's a whole nother segment we're gonna do. Well, we're gonna talk about how to run them paper logs. If you running paper, make sure your line's straight. Make sure your truck organized. Make sure your driver's license and everything they're gonna be looking for. Your medical DOT card. See if you look neat. You see what I'm saying? If you really look neat, they're gonna go and let you buy. But if you coming through there all raggedy and dirty and open your door and chicken boxes falling out the door and your truck all nasty, they gonna come on back behind this chicken house. We're gonna do a level 24 on this. Get a level 1, 2. We're gonna do a level 24 on this truck. So drivers, stay clean. Look clean.
Yes.
Be professional.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, I sat up there and we had to pull somebody over. And the one we pulled over so the students could see, everybody just waiting on that old nasty joker to come through there. And they say, come on to the back. So that's a good thing, driver. Good advice. Good advice there, Nick. So what else? There's something else I wanted to ask you. Did you have something else, Wolf?
So you talked to him about DOT.
Yeah, we just chatted about it. You know what? I know
let me ask you this. When you did, I don't know if you said this because I'm going in and out, but when you did your DOT inspection, what were the things in your binder that they look for? What were the things that you had in your binder?
Yeah, that's cool. The things I had in my binder was my MC authority letter from the FMCSA. I had my insurance that I had with the company that I was with. I had my UCR registration, United Carriers registration. I would have my the BOC3 filing just in there, just in case if they needed to see it. I have my medical card in there. I have my ELD reset manual card in there just in case the ELD goes out. Gotta have that. I would have that in there as well. And then I would any weigh scale tickets that I had that I went through when I went through a weigh station at like a Love's or a Pilot or something like that, I would have that in there as well. That's really the main stuff that I would have in the binder with that. But yeah, that's pretty much what I would have in there.
That and I think my last question is, I know B gonna talk to you about the vision and where you're going on it, but what is your go-to food on the road, man? Don't say chicken. Don't say chicken.
What food is fancy? What food is fancy?
Yeah. What's the go-to? What's your go-to meal on the road, man? Where you stopping that truck?
Hold on one sec, Clint.
Okay.
Clint, hold on, Nick.
All right.
Hey, foodie fancy. She calling me. Hold on, Foodie calling me right quick. What you say, Foodie?
Now come on in. I want to hear about this too. What's your favorite go-to place when it's time for you to,
I had to bring Foodie on because she wanted to hear about you. She was listening and she wanted to hear about this food. I'm gonna see if she can cook your favorite dish. How about that?
Let's see.
No, don't come driving over here because don't drive over here.
If he needs you to cook that food dispatcher, you gonna cook it.
So I'm gonna say it's two places. It's two places that I like to go. One is Denny's, which I didn't think I would like Denny's.
Lord.
And they had this thing called like the Grand Slamage.
Okay, what's in that, bro?
It's like eggs, ham, bacon, on like a toasted bread. Yeah, it's that. I like that. I like that.
Okay.
And then the other thing that I like is I try to stay healthy. When I try to do healthy, I try to go to Subway. So like in the Loves or something like that. I try to go to Subway. So we got this new sandwich called a Monster, and I like that.
That
And
don't
so,
sound healthy, Nick.
it's not, but it's not. It's not. Like I said, like
you use some
I
bread,
prefer.
right?
Like
Are
I
you
preference.
using white bread or wheat bread?
I use the
bread?
flatbread. I use the
Uh-oh.
flatbread.
Okay.
I use the flatbread. So I use that. So like I said, like I preference. I say I try to stay healthy. I don't do it all the time. You know, I don't do it all the time. So I try to stay healthy. But yeah, I like the flatbread. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. But I've come to the conclusion now that I'll be spending a lot of money doing that. So I go to the store and I buy my own stuff. And I keep it in the truck with me.
Nick, check this out. Check this out. I was parked next to a driver. This is a real story. I saw homeboy. He pulled out this little table, bro. He pulled out the little table. He pulled out the flat plate with the one eye. Man, Holmes he started cutting up collard greens in that thing. He started cutting up collard greens, bro. He put that meat in there, bro.
That's interesting.
Cooked it down, bro. That dude cut them collard greens up, man. I'm like, man, this dude is cooking collard greens in the truck, bro.
That's interesting because that's funny. That's funny because I was in because there's this pilot on I-40 right when you get ready to go through right it's about 90 miles before you hit the Virginia state line, and it's in White Pine, White Pine, Tennessee, exit 3 or exit 4, one of them. And I pulled in one night, and it was a guy and another guy. They was sitting out. Dude had bought a grill, and he had a whole like slab of ribs on the grill that he was grilling in the parking lot. And I just so happened to pull up to him because like it was like 10:30 at night, and you know at 10:30 at night it's really nowhere to park because everybody done. So you just kind of like making a parking spot. So I pull in, and I pull up, and I get out because I'm walking, you know, go give me a Gatorade, and he was like, "Hey, yo, fam, you want a rib?" I was like, "Yo, you barbecuing ribs at 10:30 in the parking lot?"
Come on,
he was like, "Yeah, man, you know, that's how I save money." I was like, "How you keep?" So we started talking. I was like, "So how you keep it like cool?" He was like, "So he let me get it." He was like, "Man, I got this cooler right here, man. I got all this food in here, man. All I gotta do is just buy ice, and I just keep it on ice." I was like, "All right, bro." I was like, "Okay, cool." I was like, "Cool, dude, man." I was like, "Yeah," but that was like the funniest thing I've seen. He was just. It was like 10:30, and it's just him and this dude just standing out like they in the yard, just grilling, and like all you saw was the smoke.
Did they offer to you with some light bread?
They did. That was the funny part. They did. They did. I mean, and that's the funny part. Like he was like, yo, he was like, "Hey fam, do you want a rib?" I was like, "Huh?" I was like, "Nah, I'm good, man. I'm okay. I'm good. I gotta get up in the morning. I gotta go in the morning.
You took that rib. You took that.
Nah,
rib.
I ain't take it.
He got one of them Mountain Dews, man.
Yeah.
As long as they ain't making no chitlins out there, we good.
Nah, we good. Nah, I ain't seen that one yet. I haven't seen that one yet.
You can be the first. You can be the first, Nick.
Hey.
Nah, I don't do that. I don't do that no more. No more.
He said no more.
You don't do that no more.
No.
All right, you got something else for on Foodie Fancy?
No, that's it. I was just gonna say, make sure when you out there, if you decide to start eating healthier, you know, I would just say keep your hygiene in order.
Oh yes.
You know, keep your truck clean because you don't want to get any sickness trying to, you know, cook your own food with dirty hands and everything else that you touch in. So just make sure that you keep your hygiene up and make those good choices because when you out there on the road, your body is calling for nutrients. And a lot of that fast food in and out is really not good for you. So, yeah, take good care of yourself. And if you go get a sandwich, load it up with more vegetables than you do anything else.
Got you. Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Good there, Foodie. All right.
Foodie say
we don't want to hear about all that health stuff. I'm just playing, Foodie.
Foodie say eat healthy and wash up under your arms.
Yeah, basically.
Exactly.
Basically.
Hey, Foodie was trying to slip that thing in there, Clint. She was like, eat clean and clean yourself.
Yeah.
and this one other thing, folks, we're gonna be we dropping this thing right now. We about to drop it in 10th gear. What's your aspirations, Nick? Your future goal, aspirations.
Well, yeah, I mean, I mean, being in the trucking part, I mean, being in the trucking industry, it's a lot of facets to the trucking industry. It's not just actually being behind the wheel. I don't see myself being behind the wheel, for the duration of me driving. I have aspirations of actually, owning a fleet, but lately, and when I say lately, I mean probably within the last 2 months, I've been more focused on like probably the brokering side of trucking. Is where I kind of want to see myself going. But other than that, outside of trucking, there's other aspirations that I want to do as well. It's media, writing, talking, podcasts, whatever it is. It is. That's stuff that I want to do as well too. But within the industry of trucking, I see myself wanting to be able to, get into the broker side of it. That's where I see myself going.
All right. Well, we're gonna wrap this thing up in a little bit, Nick. I want to just let you know that I'm proud of you. I see you out there. You're a rookie. You definitely have some knowledge on you. You're doing well out there. I just wanted to also send a shout out. I see you got your Alpha Phi Alpha.
Yes, sir. 1906.
Alpha Phi Alpha.
Yes, sir.
We want to give a big shout out to all the alphas, and actually we bordering and coming up on Dr. Martin Luther King Day.
Exactly, tomorrow.
Wow. And tomorrow. Dr. King was a alpha.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
So
yes, he was.
I got number love and respect for the alphas, and very intellectual, talented group of brothers, man, and who better than to have Dr. King? You know what I'm saying? To be an alpha, that's good stuff right there, man.
Yes,
so we just want to say, hey, man, you're a rookie out there. We proud of you. I don't see number big things coming, man.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
You got to put the shades on because your future bright.
Yeah. That's why me and Wolf got these shades on. We got a fella coming on that got a whole bright future.
I appreciate it.
I'm looking forward to having you maybe back in the sleeper berth, having you back on the podcast, back here live, Mr. B, to share a little bit more knowledge with us. You see what I'm saying?
Hey, no problem. I appreciate y'all having me. Thank y'all so much for thinking of me. That's
all right.
Appreciate it.
I wanted to ask you too. Are you on the road? You got some trips coming up soon? What you got?
Yeah. I've been home. So I should be if I should be leaving out tomorrow. We'll see what happens. I don't know exactly where I'm going. More than likely, I'll probably be heading to Pennsylvania. But yeah. I should be leaving out tomorrow. So we'll see what happens.
All right. So you got anything else, Wolf?
No, man. Just be safe on that big road, my man. Just be safe.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Right.
Appreciate you.
Nick, I just want you to say this. You say it the way you want, but I just need you to tell the folk to keep it in the road. However you want to say it. You're going to say keep it in the road. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, keep it in the road, trucker.
All right. Well, Mr. B, we appreciate you, Nick. We're going to be in contact with you. You stay safe out there, all right?
I appreciate it. Thank y'all so much, man.
All right, brother. All right, Wolf. What's going on with the driver?
Hey, man, I'm going to have to talk to Foodie and get a raise, man, to get some more, get my internet up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
What's that?
See if Foodie can give me a raise, man, or something, man, on these loads.
Yeah. You were dropping in and out today.
Yes,
Wolf.
sir. Yes, sir.
But look here. Guess what we did those days, Wolf?
Kept it in the road, baby.
We kept that thing in the road. Kept that thing in the road, boss. Now I'm downshifting, Wolf. I'm downshifting. I'm gonna slow that thing down to about 1,000 RPM. I'm about to slow that thing in 8. I'm slowing down.
Come on.
I'm about to slow it down another 1,000 RPMs. I'm split that thing, boss, and I'm gonna drop it all the way down to 5. Wow.
You see how I lean back when you dropped it?
That's how I move.
That's how the truck
I got that modified gear shift. I'm up here, boss.
That truck rock, when you dropped it down,
come on,
rock.
I'm splitting that thing like that, boss. I'm about to throw it on and low.
Okay.
You know what we're about to do right now, Clint?
What we gonna do?
You know what we're doing, Wolf? I'm backing that thing up. I'm backing it up right now.
Yes, sir.
All right, we just dropped it in the hole right here. I'm on Mr. B. Keeping it in the road. Podcast. We live. Make sure y'all check out the podcast on Spotify. Check out Mr. B's Trucking Institute. We got Wolf on there. He doing some instructional stuff. Look here, Wolf, I got that Buck, Gold, and Peterbilt. I'm doing story time on episode. We got Foodie Fancy, getting some lunch breaks for us. We got all kind of stuff going on. I'm working on some bus drivers. We got Love in the Truck coming with Tiff and Jimmy. We got some exciting things coming. So we need y'all to subscribe to this channel right now.
Got to.
Right now.
What you waiting on? Do something else with your fingers instead of sticking them up your nose.
Right
Subscribe.
now. Subscribe right now. And we want you to go and hit that like button. And all right, we about to get out of here. Before we get out of here, I want to get Wolf, because he a night driver. Let me get that howl, Wolf. Oh. Yes, sir. Right here on Mr. B's Chucking Institute. We keeping it live, and we keeping it in the road. Until next time, y'all be blessed. Keep it in the road.